In this section, we will review working with equations of lines. We will work with the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line. Since we are only going to discuss equations that are functions, all of our equations will start with y, and in place of y, we will use function notation f of x. Here, we are given the slope and the y-intercept. We simply substitute -5 for m, 7 for b, and we have our equation. Here, we are given the slope, but not the y-intercept. If this point were the y-intercept, it would have an x-coordinate of 0. To find the equation of the line, I'm going to use the slope-intercept form. You may have been shown another way to find the equation of the line. This is the way I prefer and the way I show my students. We need to be given or have to find two pieces of information, the slope and y-intercept, to find the equation of the line. So far, we have the slope. We substitute the slope and the given point into the slope-intercept form to find b, or the y-intercept, and then putting this all together for the equation of the line. This time, we are given 2 points. Therefore, we will need to find the slope and the y-intercept. We find the slope first, and then, like with the last problem, we will substitute the slope and one of the points into y equals mx plus b to find b. We use the formula to find the slope. I like to stack the points and refer to the top point as point 2. Using the formula, we find the slope is -4. Substituting the slope and one of the points into y equals mx plus b, we find b. Substitute what we've just found for your equation of the line. On this next one, the line y equals 5 is a horizontal line that will cross the y-axis at 5. We are looking for a line that's parallel to y equals 5. Therefore, the line that we're looking for will also be horizontal and will have the same form of the equation. Since we need our horizontal line to pass through -2, -4, our line will be crossing the y-axis at -4. The equation is y, or f of x, equals -4. This time, we're looking for a line perpendicular to a given line. Perpendicular lines are lines with negative reciprocal slopes. We start by finding the slope of the given line, and in order to do so, we need to solve the equation for y. All we need is the slope. We don't care about the y-intercept, and we find that the slope is 5/4. Any line perpendicular to this line will have a slope that is opposite in signs and reciprocals. So the slope will need to be a -4/5. So with the slope and a given point, we can find the y-intercept. Substituting this information into y equals mx plus b, we find a y-intercept of 3. For our last problem, let's look at a word problem. In the problem, the author shares 2 pieces of information. These will be the 2 ordered pairs necessary to write the equation of the line. Let's use a table to organize the information from the problem. X is defined to be the number of years past 1995. Therefore, 1995 is 0, and the year 2000 is 5 for 5 years past 1995. With x equals 0 for our first point, that y-intercept, or that y-coordinate, is your y-intercept, so we don't have to do anything to find that. Using the formula to find the slope, we find that the value drops $1,000 every year. If the y-intercept has an x-coordinate of 0, we can interpret the y-intercept as the beginning value. We can therefore interpret our equation the following way. The value of the car started out at $10,500, and every year they lost $1,000 in value. If you've struggled with this section, go back and review Chapter 3 in this text. Thank you.